Several years ago, when I began making videos, I made a few videos about Python spirits. As you know of me, I do not talk much about demonic entities. I made several videos in which I addressed specific entities and specific type of entities, but I did it only a few times. The majority of my videos, like 98% or more, are about walking in the supernatural and how to be delivered from strongholds. But I need to remind you that these Python spirits, they're quite dangerous. They're similar to confusing spirits. A Python spirit differs from a confusing spirit in that a Python spirit does not come with a cover. A confusing spirit will always come with some smooth success, some smooth ease that will blind others. A Python spirit just comes to suck all the life out of you. And you will experience this sucking out as depression. Now, I'm not saying that everyone that has depression, that is the outworking of a Python spirit. I'm not going that far. However, there are times when people feel depressed. It's really because their energy field is being drained by these serpentine entities. These entities wrap themselves around your body so they can have a good hold of your energy field, and then they really suck all the life out of you. And once they're finished with you, they'll leave. And when they leave, your energy field is so drained and broken down, there's nothing left of you anymore. One way to get a serpentine parasite as a man is when you have sexual intercourse with a witch that has many of those entities attached to her. Because serpentine parasites tend to attach themselves to women, especially witches. Not only witches, but especially to witches. And once you sleep with that witch, well, some of those serpentine entities will attach themselves to you. And what happens now is that the relationship with the witch will likely end very soon because, well, she's a witch, so she's not capable of having a natural loving relationship with a man because she's into witchcraft. So the relationship will end. You moved on with your life, but you still have those serpentine parasites with you. And what happens now, you may get into a new relationship, you may even get married, but those parasites are still there, and they will suck out all the life of your marriage and of your family. If you have a business, they will suck all the creativity out of your business. They're really energy vampires. So these are very dangerous entities. And here's the thing. It's not just through sexual intercourse with someone who has those entities that you can get it. It's also when you buy into weird ways of thinking, especially doom thinking. If you have any form of doom thinking, you need deliverance right away. You need to renew your mind because doom thinking opens you up to serpentine parasites or Python spirits. That's why many of those doomsday cults, not many, all doomsday cults are dangerous. And churches that keep hammering about the end times, without preparing their congregation to walk by faith now, are also dangerous. Because all this end time hysteria, or hysteria out there, together with the doomsday cults, those type of teachings open yourself up to serpentine parasites, because you are now in a state of fear in which you are looking for cover. In churches where they are hysterical about the end times, they'll come with the rapture or with some other pagan doctrine to blind you, saying, well, Christ is returning very soon. They'll put Christ's second coming in the doctrine to let you think it's a good doctrine. But when you look at the doctrine carefully, it's putting you in fear. And this fear enables serpentine parasites to come and suck you dry. What happens then? You will have a bitter existence without you being aware of it. And others will see this and think, how can he be a believer and he has such a bitter existence? Here's why. You are going to the church where you're listening to their end-time teachings that don't add up and are not Christ-centered. So it's not the truth. But the end time hysteria that they're transferring onto you, which is really a doomsday preaching, is now putting you in a depressed state. But because they put in the message Christ come back very soon, they give you a kind of hope in the message, a hope that's misplaced. Because you become so attached to the hope, like to a drug, you don't notice the bitter effect that the teaching has on you. But now those certain parasites are now attached to you, and they are destroying your life, and they're destroying people around you. So after a while, people will back off from you because they sense that they're being destroyed by you. But it's not you doing it. And they will associate this destruction with you who call yourself a believer. And unconsciously, they will associate this destruction with the gospel, with Christ. And that's how the enemy traps people and turns them away from Christ. It's them turning away from Christ, but the enemy has his hand in it. So many of those churches out there who hammer about the end times, especially doomsday cults, they are tools of the enemy to keep people away from following Christ. And serpentine parasites play a big role in this. So, not just by sleeping with a witch, because not every time that this happens you get these parasites. I mean, of course, it's Russian roulette you're playing, so I'm not telling you to do it, okay? But it's not only that way that you can get them. It's not only by delving into the occult. Just realize, churches that hammer upon the end times, or doomsday cults, they are occult also. Because 9 out of 10 times, the ones leading those churches are not born again believers. They're warlocks who come in the name of Christ to deceive you. And you have many of them today. And there are many people that go to church that have serpentine parasites. That's why they have to go to that building every Sunday to be relieved. Man, I go on and on about this. Just realize, those serpentine parasites are real. Just don't be afraid of them. There's no reason to be. When you are in agreement with Christ, you trample them under your feet. That does not hinder them from trying to leash at you, but you trample them under your feet. And here's another thing, another warning and advice to you. Anytime you go through a challenging time in your life, whether it's financially or socially or romantically or whatever it is, pay close attention to the people that approach you, that come to comfort you, ask how you are, show concern towards you. What's really their motive? It's not only about identifying fake from real friends. Because there are times Python spirits inform those people that things are going wrong with you. Those people don't know that it's spirits using them, but the Python spirits will inform them, for example, that things are going bad with Frank now. So now you have a lot of folks contacting Frank, asking how Frank is. It can be that Frank still doesn't have a job, and people suddenly ask, how's your job? Out of the blue. It's the Python spirit inspiring them to ask you that. And now a lot of strangers ask you that and think, what's going on? Why is it as if everyone is knowing my business? It's the paranormal operating to choke you, to get you paranoid, so that serpentine parasites can attach themselves to you. That's also how you get serpentine parasites. Above all, it comes down to agreeing with Christ and looking at the bigger picture. Me, I'm free from serpentine parasites. I want you to be free also. Well, that's it for now. Agree with Christ and be at peace.